You're a healthcare professional and you want to learn how to treat leg spider veins by microsclerotherapy. If you've searched for microsclerotherapy training in the UK, you will already know the problem. There are dozens of microsclerotherapy courses, but there's no structured way to tell a well-run course that will fit all your needs from all the others. There's no official approved list and no quality criteria to judge them by. I want to do something about that. I want to give you the facts, not just another opinion. Over 30 UK providers went into this review. And as I've already said, there isn't an approved list to check any of them against, and almost none of them publicly disclose the 5 things that would actually tell you whether a course is any good. This video and the article that goes with it is built from 2 sources only. A structured, independent survey of UK training providers carried out by my colleague Dr. Richard Oliver, and the other source, a draft training standards currently being developed for the British Association of Sclerotherapists. And for complete transparency, let me just say right from the start, I run one of the courses covered in this review, the hands-on training from the VeinCare Academy. But I have applied exactly the same method to my own listing as to everyone else's. So let's get started, and be sure to stay to the end when I will give you a list of the 5 questions you should ask any provider before enrolling on a hands-on microsclerotherapy course. Here's the uncomfortable truth behind this project. The provision of microsclerotherapy training is unregulated. The British Association of Sclerotherapists is currently drafting standards for microsclerotherapy training providers. Although these standards haven't been completely defined so far, the draft asks for some very specific things. A trainer who has personally treated at least 100 patients by microsclerotherapy in the last 2 years. Structured audit of their own complications, a group ratio of no more than 6 delegates per trainer, a CQC registered venue, proper objective assessment, not just a certificate for turning up. And the problem is, almost none of that is publicly disclosed by any provider in the UK, not because the providers are necessarily hiding anything, but because nobody has ever asked them to disclose it in a standard way before. So rather than pretend to score every provider against criteria I can't actually check, I've built this review around the 2 things the survey data does tell you: who is allowed to attend and whether a named, identifiable trainer is disclosed. As I've said before, although still at an early stage of planning, here's a sneak preview of what the draft BAS standard actually asks for, so you know what to ask a provider directly when you contact them. For the trainer, a medical or nursing degree, independent prescriber status, an active GMC or NMC license. A significant number of patients have been personally treated by the trainer recently, and structured audit of their own outcomes. Current anaphylaxis and life support training, evidence that the trainer has a commitment to continuing professional development and keeps up to date in sclerotherapy. Such a thing might be membership of the BAS. For the course itself, no more than 6 delegates per trainer in the hands-on session. Ideally, a CQC registered venue, at least 12 months of support once you finish, proper live model practice, not theory alone, and importantly, objective assessment. Are you actually tested against a checklist or just handed a certificate for showing up? Ask any provider these questions directly. Very few will have all the answers ready. So looking at the course providers, in the top group, courses that both restrict entry to registered healthcare professionals and tell you exactly who is teaching you. Below that, a group that restricts entry appropriately but does not name who is actually delivering the training. And then a much bigger set of providers that mixes registered healthcare professionals with non-medical delegates who have some needling or beauty background. And at the bottom, entry open purely on beauty qualification, no medical registration required at all. Cosmetic courses in Buckinghamshire is one example of that top group, with a named lead trainer and medical only confirmed on their own booking page. My own course, the hands-on microsclerotherapy training provided by the VeinCare Academy, sits in this group as well. The hands-on practical workshop is delivered by Emma Kelleher, who holds a formal teaching qualification and who runs her own vein practice. Forever Young Clinic in Shrewsbury. Their named trainer, Claire Spalding, is a registered nurse of over 20 years, an independent prescriber, and she holds a PhD. But the page itself does not state formal entry criteria for delegates. I'm not saying that the other groups in this list are inferior. I'm just saying that you should consider all of these courses below the top group very carefully and decide for yourself whether they really give you the quality of training that you require. Now, the hands-on day of my own course, the VeinCare Academy, is delivered by Emma Kelleher at the UK Clinic in Brackley. Access to the online theory portal is included, and delegates get lifelong access afterwards, along with a private WhatsApp group for ongoing support. Entry is restricted to prescribing doctors and nurses. So, in practice, what do you do with all of this information? Well, don't take any courses marketing at face value, including mine. Ask directly for the trainer's registration and prescribing status. Ask roughly how many patients they personally treat by microsclerotherapy each year. Ask what the group ratio actually looks like on the day. Ask whether the venue is CQC registered, and ask whether you are properly assessed at the end or simply given a certificate for showing up. If a provider can answer all of that clearly, quickly, and confidently, that tells you a great deal. If they can't, that also tells you something. So let me bring this all together. There's no official approved list of microsclerotherapy courses yet. The BAS is working on one. Until it does publish it, the checklist I have just given you is the best substitute. Ask the same 5 questions of every provider you are considering, regardless of how the course is marketed to you, and ask them to be honest about any potential conflicts of interest. The full written review with every provider covered and every source named is linked in the description below. Now, I hope you found this video and the information in it useful. If you did, please consider giving it a like and sharing it with your colleagues. That way we can get this information out. And why not consider subscribing to my channel? That way you won't miss my next video. My name's Dr. Haroun Gajraj of the VeinCare Academy. Thank you for watching.